If you love traveling for business and also a little bit of pleasure, you want to make sure you're maximizing your tax deductions around that. I'm going to share my top travel tax strategies. So the first one is making sure you're taking care of your meals and writing those off. So how travel meals works is it doesn't mean you have to be going and staying in a hotel in order to write off a meal. What qualifies as a travel meal is you've got to be outside of your normal area of business and outside of normal business hours. So yes, of course, traveling overnight for a conference or to visit a client or a prospect absolutely counts for travel meals. And by the way, when it comes to eating by yourself, normally if you're in your own business area, having a meal by yourself, even if you're thinking about business, does not count as a business meal. But if you're traveling for business, you can eat by yourself and count that as a deduction. So overnight meals absolutely count. Also, if you're going to visit a prospect or a client, or maybe going and giving a talk somewhere that's outside of your normal business area, call it within an hour or so of your office or of your home office, and it's outside of your normal business hours, so let's say you work 8 to 5 usually, if you're leaving at 5 a.m. to get there and stop and have breakfast, or you're coming home and you don't get home until 7 o'clock after business hours and you're driving a few hours away, then that meal by yourself counts as a business meal as well. So make sure you're thinking about that, planning your agendas for those days when you're going and traveling so that you can make sure you got your meals correctly deducted under your business. Next, hiring your spouse. If you have a spouse, a husband or a wife, then you get them on the payroll when you're bringing them along on your business trip. Then now you're not just bringing your spouse, you're bringing your employee to be part of your business team when you're traveling, which means their meals are now deductible when they weren't before. Their flights are now deductible when they weren't before. If for some reason you want to stay in separate rooms or you're getting separate activities, then those would be deductible as well. Now, entertainment, if you're going to see a show on your personal days, or maybe you're renting out a boat if you're in a tropical destination, those are not deductible no matter what. But if you get your spouse on the payroll, it can be a great way to write off additional travel expenses. Now, the key there is you want to make sure that any tax strategy you implement doesn't cost you more than it saves you. And so when you hire your spouse, you do have to pay payroll taxes on those wages. And so you want to make sure that the tax savings you're getting from the extra travel expenses aren't less than the extra payroll taxes, which are about 15% of whatever salary you're paying them on the payroll. Number 3, have a weekend. So the IRS has this really cool rule that says if you work on Friday and then the following Monday while you're out of town traveling, then Saturday and Sunday count as business days. And I'm going to talk about why that matters in just a little bit on this point number 4 here. But and this counts for holiday weekends too. So the actual federal holiday counts as a weekend. So if you're going, say, traveling for business over President's Day weekend and you work Friday and then the following Tuesday, then you get all 3-day weekends count as business days. And so planning your day and how you arrange your trip can help you with this last item and knowing this, which is maximizing your business days by arranging your travel, as long as it's flexible, in a way that gets you the most business days for your trip. So I'm going to move this guy right here. So how it works when it comes to your flights, if the flights are if the business days are more than 50%, then 100% of your flight is deductible. If it's below 50%, then 0%, none of your flight is deductible. This is really important. Meals and hotel are based on the percent of business days. So if you travel five days on the trip and 2 of them are business days, then 40% of your meals and hotel will be deductible. None of your flight would be deductible. So let's say you're having a 5-day business trip where you're going to have you're traveling, or let's say 6 days. You're traveling 2 of those days, to and from, and then you want to have 2 days of fun in that. So if you leave on Monday, we're going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If in scenario 1, you leave on Monday and then you have work on Tuesday, personal day Wednesday, personal day Friday, personal day Thursday, work on Friday, and then fly home on Saturday, your travel days don't count in the total. So in this case, you'd have 2 work days, work days, and then 2 personal days, so you'd have 50%. If you instead, let's say you flew out on a Thursday, you worked Friday, had the personal day on Saturday and Sunday, worked Monday, and then flew home Tuesday, travel days don't count. You work Friday, Saturday and Sunday count as business days, and then you work Monday. Now it's 100% deductible. And so you literally double the amount you can deduct by changing the days you fly out and come home. And so maximizing your business days can be the difference of writing off $4,000 of the trip versus $2,000 of the trip, especially if when you arrange this, it doesn't make it 50%, it makes it, say, 40% for whatever reason, however you haven't struggled, then you lose out on the flight deductibility entirely. So make sure your meals are deductible. Get your spouse on the payroll if you fly and travel with them a lot. Work that Friday and following Monday to wrap the weekend and make Saturday and Sunday deductible, and then arrange your trips to maximize your business days. You do that, you're going to be enjoying a whole lot more tax deductible travel than if you don't know any of these. All right, I hope you got a lot of value out of that and you're ready to write off way more of your travel. In case my handwriting isn't quite as legible as you would like, put together all of this information in a super handy Word document that I can send you. It's in the link below in the comments. Click that and it'll have all that information for you. If you've got any questions about any of this or other tax questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll respond to every single one. And be sure to share this out with your friends and subscribe to my page for more tax tips just like this.